It's about Ron Paul. I should say about the economy. Ron Paul has actually predicted the economy for decades now. He's been predicting these rising falls of the economy. Would you rather have a man like that running the country than politicians who keep doing the same thing and expecting different results? And this caucus is not just about you and me and our country. This caucus is about men and women and children dying in unnecessary wars. This caucus is about earning our dreams with sound money instead of debt and inflation. And listen up, guys. Don't believe the media when they say this thing is over. That's far from the truth. This thing is about delegates, and it's also about a revolution of changing the hearts and minds of the American people. Hearts and minds are changing. It's incredible. Abraham Lincoln, when he went to the National Convention, he had not a delegate to his name. He walked away with the nomination. I'm telling you, Ron Paul, he's way ahead of that right now. Way ahead of that. So what decides for Missouri? Are we going to send delegates for Ron Paul? It's about you. Are you going to show up a week from now? Are you going to roll out of bed? This isn't about me. This isn't about pleasing me. And it's not about pleasing Ron Paul. This is about you guys. It's about your dignity. It's about your humanity. We're human beings. Are we going to let corrupt politicians push us around? This is the way to do it, guys. It's the way to do it. Ron Paul's been fighting for 40 years. 40 years now. What we have to do right now is get out of the caucus one day. You gotta be a little bit uncomfortable. You gotta get tired. But, after that day, there will be other work to do. I'm telling you that. We're going to work together. We're going to turn this country around. He's a 7th District Coordinator. He's a man who's made a lot of sacrifices for liberty. Like you guys that honor him as he comes on the stage to introduce Ron Paul.
Wow. I gotta say thanks to everybody for coming out. You folks continue to amaze me. And I may be a little biased, but I'd say there's more patriots in Southwest Missouri than anywhere in the country. Just know that the fate of this whole movement rests in our hands tonight. So I beg you to ask yourself, what will you do in this fight? And despite what the media may have you believe, this election, we can win it. How about we take Missouri to Ron Paul? But we all know something. We know something in our hearts. This is way more than just an election. It's a revolution. And the stage is set, and I challenge everybody to place on it. The battle for freedom is right here, right now. History will be eternally grateful to the man who made us realize that freedom is very much alive, and that not only can we win this battle, but we must win it. And now, with great honor, I introduce to you the man who inspired us all, Dr. Ron Paul. give me a lot of encouragement. There's something very special going on, and a lot of people don't quite realize it. I think everybody in this room does understand exactly what's happening. We're sick and tired of what we've had for the last many, many years, and we have to restore confidence in ourselves, confidence in liberty, and hold everybody to defending and obeying the Constitution. To obey the Constitution. So I don't know why it should be so difficult. The Constitution is not difficult to understand, but unfortunately in the last 30 or 40 years, the Constitution has been really just ignored. People in Washington, whether it's in Congress, whether it's the President, or whether it's the courts, they just ignore the Constitution. There was a time when they wanted change in this country, and they wanted to amend the Constitution. Now they don't take any time to do that. Not too long ago, the President was a little bit frustrated with the Congress, and he wanted Congress to pass a law dealing with the environment. And he says, okay, if you guys are going too slow, I'll just write an executive order. Well, he's not allowed to do that. And if I have the chance, which I hope you give me, as a president that opposes these executive orders, I'll use the executive order to repeal them. He was explaining to the American people, to the Congress, that he didn't have to come to Congress for authority to go to war. Right. He says he can get permission. He said he can get permission from the United Nations. The president not too long ago announced that he's allowed to assassinate American citizens.
No more!
But, the President does not have this authority, and he explained this authority by saying that if it's not prohibited by the Constitution, he's allowed to do it. But that is not the interpretation of the Constitution. The President, as well as the Congress, of course, are only allowed to do those things that are explicitly permitted to do, and not the other way around. This is why we don't have the rule of law right now. We have too much government, running too many laws, unnecessary, illegal, and unconstitutional laws, and that's why we're in this mess today. And that's why
Yesterday.
January 1st, there are 40,000 new laws put on the books in one day. Wow. Wonder why we get into trouble. Now, I have an idea. When we change the president and new laws that come on the book, why don't we repeal 40,000?
How's that? Is that okay?
has no right to do that. That we ought to follow. But another thing that we should consider are the two basic principles of government. One is based on voluntarism and also on peace. A peaceful approach and voluntarism to try to improve society. But the other method, which has been around way too long, it's called the use of force and intimidation and the use of those of us who believe in liberty and the Constitution and limited government say, well, you guys want to go back to the Dark Ages. Let me tell you where the Dark Ages are. It's tyranny.
Yeah! Woo!
We're always going to use force. Not only forcing you to run your lives as the government sees fit, what you can do with your life and how you can spend your money, but also we use that same principle to try to force other countries what to do. And I don't think it's any of our business what the other countries are doing. This whole idea, this concept that has been around for a while is called American exceptionalism. I actually believe in American exceptionalism. I believe there are a lot of great things in this country. There was a time when we believed in sound money and free markets and contract and property rights and peace and following the law. But people who talk about American exceptionalism, it's been around probably since Woodrow Wilson. That means they assume that we have a special quality where we are so good that we can force other people to act exactly like we do. Even if we use force, we go overseas, we invade countries, we intimidate, we bribe them, if they don't take our money and they don't do what we tell them, we bomb them. That is not the way to influence people.
That's right.
That approach does exactly the opposite. It ruins the whole thing. It undermines everything. Now, if we want to influence the world, which I would like to do, I would like to move in the direction, which I believe this is what this campaign is all about, move in the direction of setting a standard, setting an example.